Hello, good afternoon. This is Maisha Marie coming to do a segment of scripture time. I'm going to be reading 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 7 about the widow. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for you? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thine handmaid hath not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Then he said, Go, borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and upon her sons who brought the vessels to her. And she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, Go, sell the oil and pay the debt, your debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. The few things that I took from this was, first of all, the woman had an issue. She had a problem that needed to be solved. And a lot of our issues are not solved through anything except increasing our income. So she went to the man of God and asked him, basically, he was like, What do you want me to do? And he actually put the ball back in her court and said, What do you have in your house? And she said, Thy handmaid had not anything in the house save a pot of oil. She diminished and she downplayed what it was she actually had, not knowing what it was that God can do with it. Then he said, Go borrow the vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. So not only did she have the ball now back in her court, she had to acknowledge and identify what it was that she had in her house. Then she had to step outside of herself, outside of her comfort zone, and borrow vessels from her neighbors. So now they probably were under the assumption or under the knowledge now that she was in debt. Then she had to go home, shut the door, do the work behind closed doors before she can come back out. Then she went back to the man of God and said, Okay, I completed the task. What do I do now? She didn't ask him what to do now. He just said, Okay, just like a lot of us, when we have coaches and mentors, they say, okay, you complete that first task, then I see how serious you really are. Now he said, Go sell the oil, pay your debt, live you and your children of the rest. Now she was able to work, sell the oil, pay her debt, and have an overflow for her and her children.